and welcome to the latest Health and Wellbeing webinar from Asthma UK and the British Lung Foundation. Today's session is with Emily Hale from Build and Breathe Pilates. If you enjoyed today's session, please do consider making a donation after the webinar. Your support will help us to continue to defend the nation's lungs. And now, I'll hand over to Emily for today's session.
Hi guys, my name is Emily and I run Build and Breathe Pilates. This is our third session of chair-based Pilates. I hope you enjoyed sessions 1 and 2 and that you're feeling a little bit stronger as well. So we're going to try and build on those movements that we did. Take it up a notch, maybe do a couple of extra reps and just see if we can build some more strength with these chair-based movements. As always, if anything doesn't quite sit right with you today, then please just sit right, funny with chair-based Pilates. Please just do adapt or sit out, have a break, completely up to you. And just make sure you're feeling okay, just listen to your body. So take a rest if you need to take a rest, okay? We are going to start standing. I know last time we did a lot of standing work. I just want to build on that a little bit today. I think it's really important that we start to work with stability through our bodies and just make sure that we can do those functional everyday movements such as getting in and out of our chair easily without too much support. So one of the key areas to strengthen in that regard are our ankles. So we'll start to use the back of our chairs as support, and like before, if you can find something with a high back, a seat that's not too squashy, then that will be perfect. So standing behind the chair, we want our feet to be facing forwards, shoulders are relaxed, tummy is a little bit pulled in just to make sure we're not slouching and slumping, and we're going to start with some heel raises. Now you can just rise up as high as feels good, and then come back down. If that's literally a centimetre that you come up and down, that's absolutely fine. See how you go. Coming all the way up and all the way down. And really important that you're trying to come almost vertically up and down rather than launching yourself forwards and backwards as you do those heel raises. Obviously that was very exaggerated, but you'll start to feel in yourself if you feel like you're rocking forwards or backwards as you're doing these. Now, if you feel confident too, we can start to release some of the support from the chair. Completely optional, but maybe you could start to just hover those hands next to the chair. Gosh, even I'm feeling wobbly with this today. And that's just going to change how your balance is working because you're not relying on that support. So just see if you're happy to take hands away. Good. If you can do these without the chair quite comfortably, you can bring your hands down to your sides and see how you feel. Now these do start to get a little bit achy, especially the number of reps we're doing. So we'll take 3 more with or without the chair, whatever feels most comfortable for you. Well done, last one. Good, shake those ankles out if they need it, they probably do. And we're going to have another go at our squats. So these are really important because squatting is essentially what we're doing every time we sit down and get up from a chair, which we do all the time. And we want to be really strong at doing this without needing any hands pushing us up all the time. So we're going to pop our hands on the chair just for a little bit of balance support. Feet should be hip width apart, and if you remember from last time, the first thing we think about with squats is even weight distribution through your feet. So we're thinking big toe, little toe and heel. Try and find your balance between those 3 points on each foot. Knees are staying over your feet and our chest is staying nice and tall. We're going to sit our bottom back, come into a little squat, push through our glutes and come all the way back up. Good. Now again, this is the level that we worked at last time. If you want to make it a little bit harder, you can try this with your hands just hovering next to the chair. So it's just playing around with your weight distribution and the stability that you have without the support of that chair there. I find that when I let go of the support, I'm much more inclined to just fold forward. So I want you to keep that feeling of chest tall, sitting your bottom back to come into that squat. Good. So you can really feel the difference without holding on. Your brain switches on a little bit extra. Now we'll take that 3 more times, with or without the chair, completely up to you. Well done. Last one. Beautiful. Come back up, shake those legs off, and we are going to come and sit in our chairs. So let me just turn that around. When we're coming down to sit in our chair, you're welcome to obviously use something to help you sit down, but same principles as those squats. Just have a think about pushing your bottom back to come and sit down. Good stuff. Okay. I want to think about upper body strength next. So I know we did some work on strengthening our upper backs in our first session, and we'll build on that today. So the first thing we're going to do is start with hands down by our sides. Feet are planted on the floor, chest is tall. We're going to push our hands behind us and feel that squeeze in between your shoulder blades, really nice and tight. Hold and release. Good. Squeezing behind you again. We're holding for about 3 to 4 seconds here, not too long. And release. Good, keeping going. Squeeze and hold. And let go. Good, we're doing about 10 of these. Now this is slightly more than we did in our first week. I want you to notice how much stronger you maybe feel in between those shoulder blades. These muscles do fatigue really, really quickly, so any work we can give them to keep them nice and strong and supple is really important, especially when we do lots of work rounding our shoulders at our desks and things. Okay, last 2. We're still holding for that 3-4 seconds if you can. Last 1. And you can let go. You can give your shoulders a little release. Really well done. Okay, next exercise is called a dumb waiter, which I think is named after Fawlty Towers. We're going to bring our elbows right into our sides. We're going to have a little tray in front of us. Now, completely up to you how responsible you are with this next question. But I want you to imagine you've got your favourite drink on this tray and we don't want to spill it. So we're holding those hands really nice and flat. Shoulders are pulled back away from your ears and chest is nice and tall. I want you to peel those forearms out to the side, feel a squeeze between your shoulder blades again, and then release back in. Now it's really important that those elbows stay into your sides because that's going to make sure we get a good squeeze between your shoulder blades. We don't want to be doing any of this flapping around. Keeping that tray nice and flat, squeezing and releasing. Good. Now we want to hold for maybe a couple seconds at the back, just to make sure we're completing the movement. So we slowly come out, hold, slowly come in. Good. I'm going to take this 3 more times. Good, keep that 90-degree angle at your elbow. And last one. Good stuff. Release back in, give yourself a shimmy and just take a breather in between moves. I think sometimes when we're concentrating so much on the movement we forget to breathe. So do make sure you give yourself a second to just let that breath out. Well done. I've got one more strengthening exercise for our upper backs. And we are starting in that same position with that almost tray in front of us. Elbows right into your sides, palms nice and flat. Similarly to the last movement, we're going to draw those arms round out to the side. At the end, we'll hold. Open those hands up, so elbows are coming away from your sides. Nice straight arm, elbows come back in, and we release back. So the whole time, we are feeling that squeeze behind our shoulders and also in our lats, kind of underneath our shoulders, pulling them down. Opening up, coming back in, rotating those hands back to the centre. So we just want to keep that nice steady pace throughout. nice and slow. Lovely. Keep on going. Keep that chest tall. It's taking me a lot of concentration to make sure that my shoulders stay pinned back, because it's really easy to just do this kind of out in front. So I want you to keep that posture really tall. Lovely. Keep on going. We've got 3 more of these to do. Well done. Squeeze out. And last one. Opening, extending, and bringing back in. Really well done. Oh, that does start to really get your upper back, so give yourself a nice little shimmy. Really well done. Okay, so just to take a little release through your upper back now, we'll come and do those bow and arrows that we practiced last time. So arms are coming out in front. We're going to imagine we're drawing the string on a bow. So I want you to take your elbow and your pinky finger down by your lowest rib. We'll twist towards that side and look at our elbow behind us. And then coming all the way forwards, twisting to the opposite side, taking the elbow behind, looking behind you, and then coming all the way forwards. So we're just going nice and slow, feet are still planted on the floor, just getting that mobilization, that movement through your upper back. Good stuff. Now, just whilst we're doing a slightly simpler movement, I want to bring your attention back to your breathing. Just notice whether your breath is being held up in your chest or if it's down by your ribs. As we breathe in, we should be really focusing on keeping those ribs expanding. Good stuff. Keep on going. Okay, going to take one more on each side. Make sure you're nice and evened up, so if you need to do a cheeky extra one, please do. And last one. Fabulous. Bring yourself back to the front. You can just let those arms come down, get some life back into them. Really well done. Okay, let's bring the focus back to our legs. Now, you're welcome to do this without, but if you want an extra challenge, I want you to add a cushion in between your knees. I'm just going to use my trusty head block. The reason I'm asking you to do this is to keep the cushion or the head block in place. Your inner thighs are having to work that little bit extra, so we're just upping the ante, getting those thighs really working today. Now, the first thing we're going to do is some leg lifts like we've done before. We just do it with our hands relaxed down on our thighs or on our hips, keeping your chest really nice and tall, keeping your breath steady. We're going to peel a heel off of the floor, and then if you're happy to, we'll come into that leg lift that we've practiced before. And coming back. Again, lifting the heel, extending the leg, and coming back in. So you can feel the difference. If you get rid of the block for a second, or your cushion, your leg's quite free to move wherever it wants. However, with something in the middle there, it's much more controlled, much more difficult. Now, of course, I've got another level for you if you fancy. We can play around with giving ourselves a bit of a brain teaser again. So we can add the opposite arm lifting with that leg like we've done before, but just keep it slow and steady. I can see my thighs are shaking slightly to keep that block in place. So clearly this is doing some good work. Just keep on focusing on that slow, steady movement. If you are using arms as well, shoulders need to stay down, away from your ears. Okay, well done. Keeping that tummy pulled in, making sure that we're not slouching as we do these movements. Well done. Keeping going. We are going to do a higher number of reps than we've done before. If you haven't already added in an arm raise, maybe have a go. See how that feels. We're going to take that 2 more times on each side. Well done. Keep on going. And last 2. Good. Alright, once you've done that last one, you can take that cushion out from between your knees, let your legs have a little rest and reset. Really well done. And we'll just take some nice mobilizing exercises to finish. So we'll start with some nice side bends. Feet are planted on the floor, hands are coming down by our sides, and we're just going to twist over to one side, back up to the top, and over to the other side. I know we've done this every session. It's because it's really good for you. We don't often get a lot of side bending work. This is bringing in our obliques, so the sides of our core, to do some strengthening as well, which is really important. If you feel quite stable, you're welcome to add in some different arm positions, so maybe bringing a hand up to your temple or stretching it over your head as you go. See how that feels. Just listen to your body. Try and keep those sit bones down on the chair. Try and keep your hips nice and steady. If you feel like you're going to wobble off, keep your hands down by your side. Good. Okay, keep on going. We're going to take that once more on each side. Bring yourself back to the center, and just to finish I want to do some nice deep breathing together. So I want to sit really tall, chest is tall, hands can be on your thighs or up on your rib cage if you want that as kind of a reference point. And as we breathe in, we'll feel the ribs expanding into our hands. Hold the breath and push back out. Good. I'm not going to tell you what timing to breathe with. I want you to work with this on yourself, whatever feels good. And we're going to take that 2 more times. Big breath in. Hold and releasing. Good. Last one. Hold. Let it go. Lovely. So, give yourself a little shimmy if you need it, but I'm hoping that after all of that you're feeling really good. We've done quite a lot of leg work, we've done lots of upper body strengthening, so should be feeling a little bit meaty, especially between your shoulder blades, but I hope that's really helped. I hope to see you in our last session. We'll be tying everything up that we've done together already, so yeah, see you then. Thank you so much for joining.
Thank you so much for joining us today, and thank you to Emily. Remember to check out her website, buildbreathe.co.uk, for more information about her work. If you enjoyed today's session, please do consider making a donation to support our work. Your support really will help us to continue defending the nation's lungs. On behalf of everyone here at Asthma UK and the British Lung Foundation, thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, take care, and I'll look forward to seeing you all again soon.